developing their own particular spin on culture and life. One of the consistencies amongst each of them, though, was the belief on gods. Well, that's fairly consistent around all humanity, but the belief system was similar all the way through each of the cultures, with life represented in three components: the heavens, the earth, and the underworld. The heavens inhabited by the gods, symbolised by the birds; land inhabited by the man, symbolised by the feline; and the underworld, which is where you go when you die, symbolised by the serpent. And the coming together of the serpent, the feline and the bird is what happened when man came into contact with both God and the afterlife. The fact that the afterlife was underground symbolised the fact that life was circular, it was cyclical, that you would die, you would then be returned back to life through decomposition and such like. In many ways, there is inherently more logic to the religious systems of Southern America than there is about a guy dying on the cross, being raised again 3 days later and going back to live next to his dad in heaven. The metalwork of the ancient civilizations used a lot of silver and gold, silver representing the moon and gold representing the sun. You see a number of items that have two sides: gold representing the sun, silver representing the moon, having both a value not just for its lustre but for its supernatural powers, because it represented both the sun and the moon. Gold and silver were the two most precious metals in the Andean culture for a couple of reasons. One, they represented supernatural power: silver, the moon, and gold, the sun. But also they were worn by royalty and those in power. Because it was so precious and hard to find, as it was in the other culture, the Andean metalsmiths had perfected a way of creating large objects like this by beating them very, very thin and using very, very little precious metal. In addition, they had perfected a way of plating and alloying silver and gold, so objects like this, while appearing gold, were about 90% copper. And that has to have really pissed off the conquistadors when they took their so-called valuable gold home, melted it down and found that it was mainly copper. Served them right, if you ask me. Of course, like in every other culture, there is art depicting sex and erotica, which is more symbolic of foundation of humanity in their religious views than it is of anything erotic.